welcome to the Town of Bernardston Select Board meeting for Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. And just a reminder, this meeting is being broadcast live on BNC TV and live streamed on YouTube. To find BNC TV on YouTube, go to youtube.com and search for Bernardston-Northfield Community Television. This meeting will be available for later viewing by following the link at townofbernardston.org. You can also watch channel 1075 on your Comcast dial in Bernardston. We'll start tonight with the warrants. So I'd entertain a motion for the payroll warrant in the amount of $56,678.86.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion for the vendor warrant in the amount of $222,906.14.
So moved.
Second.
And just the bigger part of that is the Franklin County Tech School assessment of $83,039.25 and the Community Development Block Grant payment of $110,310.18. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Entertain a motion for the regular meeting minutes of March 18th, 2026.
So moved.
And I'll second that. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I abstained.
Yes. Calendar and announcements. The Cushman Library Play and Learn program will continue through the month of April on Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11:30 at the Cushman Library. The program is a family-friendly gathering designed for young children and their caregivers. The program offers play-based learning, story time with Miss Ruby, caregiver connections, and a welcoming environment. We hope to see you there. The Planning Board will meet on Thursday, April 2nd at 4 p.m. at the Town Hall. The Select Boards and Finance Committees of Bernardston, Leiden, and Northfield will meet on Thursday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. at the Bernardston Senior Center. The Bernardston Recreation Commission, bring your baskets and your springtime spirit to Cushman Park on Saturday, April 4th at 10 a.m. for Bernardston's Recreation Annual Egg Hunt. Families and children of all ages are invited to join the fun as we welcome the season with a cheerful community tradition. Don't be late, the eggs do go fast. The Bernardston Select Board and Finance Committee will meet on Monday, April 6th at 5:30 p.m. at the Bernardston Fire Station. The Historical Commission will meet on Wednesday, April 18th at 1 p.m.
April 8th.
Oh yeah, April 8th, not 18th. Thank you. Let me back up. The Historical Commission will meet on Wednesday, April 8th at 1 p.m. in the Town Hall meeting space. Pioneer Valley Regional School District will celebrate its annual district-wide Arts Night on Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., bringing together students, families, and community members from across all schools for an evening dedicated to creativity and artistic expression. This event has become a cherished tradition within the district, offering a vibrant showcase of student work in visual art, music, and performance. The evening promises to be a colorful, uplifting evening that reflects the spirit and talent of students across the Pioneer Valley Regional School District. The Conservation Commission will meet on Tuesday, April 14th at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall. On Saturday, April 18th from 11 to 2, the Bernardston Fire Department will welcome the community to an open house at the new fire station located at 167 Northfield Road in Bernardston. This event marks far more than the opening of a building. It represents years of planning, collaboration, and a commitment to strengthening public safety in Bernardston. The open house will begin with opening remarks from the fire chief, followed by a ribbon-cutting ceremony to officially mark the station's opening. Guests will be invited to join guided tours of the building, offering a behind-the-scenes look at the apparatus bays, gear room, workspaces, and the thoughtful features built to support the department's mission. Light refreshments will be available, and firefighters will be on hand to answer questions and share the story of how the project came together. Bernardston Recreation Commission Spring Craft Fair, scheduled for Saturday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bernardston Elementary School. There will be over 25 crafters, and food is available. Bernardston's annual town meeting will take place on Wednesday, April 29th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Pioneer Valley Regional School Auditorium, welcoming residents to gather, connect, and take part in one of the community's most meaningful civic traditions. Town meeting is where voters directly shape Bernardston's future, approving budgets, considering bylaw updates, and setting priorities that influence everyday life. Every voice adds value, and when more people participate, the decisions made truly reflect the full range of perspectives in our town. Voters will consider several important articles this year, beginning with those that establish the expense and payroll budgets for every town department and committee. These articles also authorize payment to the many partners and service providers who support Bernardston throughout the year. Our schools, insurance carriers, accounting services, waste management providers, and more. These decisions form the foundation for how the town operates day to day, and the broad participation helps ensure they reflect the community's shared priorities. This year, both school districts' operating budgets increased. $3,428 for the Franklin County Technical School and $499,000, let me back up, and $499,261 for the Pioneer Valley Regional School District. These are just Bernardston's share increases. So I'm going to read those two again. The tech school's increase to the town of Bernardston was $3,428. And for Pioneer Valley Regional School District, the increase to Bernardston is $499,261. Last Thursday, March 19th, the Select Boards and Finance Committees of Bernardston, Leiden, and Northfield met in a joint session to discuss the Pioneer Valley Regional School District's proposed FY27 budget. This gathering provided an important opportunity to review the district proposal and consider its impact on all three communities. At that meeting, representatives from each town expressed significant concern about the size of the proposed $18.2 million budget and the corresponding assessments that would be required of member towns. While we remain committed to supporting the district and ensuring that our students receive a strong education, we also have a responsibility to safeguard the financial stability of our town and the taxpayers who fund these services. Board members raised questions about whether all possible cost-saving measures had been explored before presenting the budget in its current form. There was also a shared concern about the long-term sustainability of increases of this scale, particularly given the broader financial pressures facing small towns across Franklin County. As a result, the Select Boards and Finance Committees of Bernardston, Leiden, and Northfield indicated that we are likely to recommend that our respective town meetings not approve the budget as it is currently presented. This unified position is unusual and reflects the seriousness of the fiscal challenges before us. We have encouraged the district to revisit its proposal and consider adjustments that better balance educational needs with the financial realities of the member towns. In recent years, only a small number of voters have made decisions that affect the entire community. When turnout is low, budgets, bylaws, and long-term plans are shaped by only a handful of voices. Your participation helps ensure the decisions reflect the full range of experiences, priorities, and hopes within Bernardston. Town meeting is more than a requirement of local government. It's a gathering of neighbors, a chance for thoughtful discussion, and an opportunity to help shape the future of the place we call home. So mark your calendars, bring a friend or a neighbor, and take part in guiding Bernardston's next chapter. And just a side note on that, as the Finance Committee and Select Boards have been working through all the budgets, we're still a month away from the town meeting and we're still in the red, correct, Jane? As of this moment in time, which means one of two things has to happen. We have to sharpen our pencils and make some cuts to town budgets, or we have to ask the residents for a Prop 2.5 override vote, neither of which are going to be fun. So more to come on that. So it's very important to come to town meeting. The more voices that are there, please ask questions. We should have answers for every question you ask us, and if we don't, that could be a problem, but please come and ask. We pass $5 and $6 million budgets annually without a single question from the audience. And we get to a $400 line item and we talk about it for 45 minutes. So please come and ask. This is a very tight budget year for the town of Bernardston, and I'm sure you've read in the newspaper, many local towns are in the same boat as we are, having very tight budgets.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Our meeting's on Monday night. are always open to any resident who wants to come and listen and speak. And the Finance Committee needs 2 additional members.
It's just strict.
And we need them desperately. They would be a big help when we're dealing with this kind of situation.
For sure. That's the input we need from the residents, for sure. Citizens' concerns not already on the agenda. You folks are already on the agenda. So seeing none, Steve Roberto, come on up.
And
This is-
Dan Bukowski.
And this is the Northfield, about the Northfield Food Pantry.
Northfield Regional Food Pantry. yes.
There you go, Northfield Regional Food
Come on
Pantry.
down there.
Perfect,
Just-
welcome.
Important.
It is important.
Thanks for inviting us back.
Yes, welcome.
Am I good with this?
That's the
Yes.
mic.
Yes. So, thanks for having us back. And I just wanted an opportunity to, 3 years out, 2.5 years, whatever, to give you an update of what we're trying to do and have done with the shed at the transfer station. We started out, as you know, in a little red shed that got poor to no visibility. But we solved that through some pretty creative thinking by Brian, who situated the shed. Currently, we bought a shed, and it's situated right at the middle of the 2 green bins for any resident to decide where to, put their stuff. Hopefully in the pantry if it's returnable. Correct. So I just wanted to briefly tell you, thank you for having us back. And I want to thank Brian for finding a perfect solution for this shed. We couldn't get better visibility if we tried, and we're grateful for that. And to Karen for just the public awareness, your help, and the website, because it's just awareness, public awareness, and educating folks on what the possibilities are for that shed. All of the money that goes into proceeds from that shed go into the pantry budget to sustain us. So Northfield is the first most popular patron. Second is Bernardston, and then the other surrounding towns. From Irving, Greenfield to Winchester. We have quite an array of East and Franklin County participants. Right now we're running at about 80 families an opening, which is roughly 230 to 250 individuals served every time we open our door. We have 9 to 12 on a Saturday, 2nd and 4th. It's a very busy time. As you can imagine.
Sure.
Cars lined up down the side of the library road and go all the way around the corner. So
Wow.
Huge need, yeah.
what I wanted to share with you folks is we have, I think, all the tools in place to have a perfect, if you will, operation that'll grow over time. We need the input of the residents, so that's the appeal that I'm looking to ask the residents. Please use our shed. It helps you. It helps Bernardston patrons that come to the pantry. And ultimately, one of our goals was to save tipping fees. So every can that goes in this shed does not go down and cost the town money. Same for Northfield. So one challenge we have is participation. We need more residents that are committed to and want to be involved with supporting this effort. It's solely for the pantry, and then the secondary is saving money while we can as we get increased numbers. So we opened in 2024, and between that period of I think 2.25 years, we have roughly just under $1,200 that we pulled out of that shed. As a reference, 9,200 out of Northfield. So a much more mature program. I started that program in 2013, and that's been running actually full force 2014. That's 12 years. So it's got a lot of maturity over what we're trying to do here with a brand new shed. So I think the goals that I'd like to share is to grow the participation and resident usage of that redeemable shed, sorry. We have one challenge where I'd like to find 2 or 3 volunteers, ideally in Bernardston, that would like to help us. You know, a short ask right now because we're not large enough to really burden anyone at a great degree, but we need help to just to manage the shed, and if they were capable of driving to the Redemption Center in Brattleboro, great, but if they're not, at least manage the shed so it's proper and not a mess. Then we already spoke about saving the town dumping fees. I see that further on down with higher volume as a possibility. And then basically to the residents, your donations, if you will, are supporting people in Bernardston that use the pantry. It's a regional pantry, but Northfield and Bernardston are the 2 heaviest players at the moment, and then lower numbers for the other towns. Then I guess we'd ask if we could use volunteers, and that'd be okay with you, at the transfer station as a low-level positive public awareness education strategy to try and encourage them to participate. They may not know why the shed's there, even though it's well signaged.
Yeah.
It's signed out well. It says what it's doing, but not everybody takes the time to stop.
Right.
They're so used to the green bin, left or right.
Right.
And they go left or right, and then off the platform. Do you guys have any questions that I can answer for you?
You asked for our approval for a volunteer to stand there and encourage?
Sure, but I mean, basically, it's not of the town of Bernardston that we're seeking like pantry volunteers that would stand there to help residents that are using the platform.
I'm not sure of this. This is a question. Is there a limit or a restriction on politicking at the transfer station?
Don't know that.
Don't know.
No, I think it's more of a volunteer to educate them about the pantry.
Understand, but
Yeah.
If somebody running for office you pick it, whatever office, governor of Massachusetts, and can they stand at our transfer station and encourage people to vote for them? Somewhere rattling around in my head, there's this idea that there's a limitation. If it's not, that's great. Let's get the volunteer out there.
And we're certainly not forcing or selling anything other than awareness, truly awareness that the pantry, the bottles and can shed is there. What do you have questions? This is what we use it for. If they're open to that, and some people are not going to be interested, we get that. And so we're not trying to hard sell or hardball anybody.
Not at all.
Sir.
The transfer station, the 2 green bins, as you call them,
Yep.
You can only throw cans and glass and whatever else in there. You can't bring a nice plastic bag and toss that in. There's a restriction about that. Do you have the same restriction with this, or do you?
Pretty much we encourage people, whether they have a bag or a box or a tote or whatever method they use. There are, the door is closed in that photograph in the top, but there on the bottom you can see the open bins. So it goes from glass, where the blue bin is, to aluminum and then clear plastic. We have had people take bags full of bottles and cans, but not glass, and throw it in the shed. So not a problem per se, it's just safety. We just don't want to have glass all over the place.
Right.
You get that.
And that's what the volunteers would also do, is if they got one of these bags in there, they do the sorting for them?
Right, and the volunteers are managing that left side. On the right, there are 2 bags piled up. They hold about 200 containers a bag, and so that's what, $10 roughly a bag that
Okay.
goes out of there. But less important, the arrangement of that is to keep it clean and not have it overstocked. We have come in a few times and had 3 to 5 inches of cans and bottles.
That's a good
on the
problem.
on the floor, and all the bins full.
Yeah.
So it is a management challenge to keep it orderly and safe.
And that's what the volunteer would do. They're
That's
looking
correct.
for volunteers for that.
We're currently the volunteers
Yeah.
doing that function.
Right.
The other question I had, you mentioned Brattleboro. You're transporting across state lines to the cans to redeem?
Yeah, there is no place in Massachusetts that I'm aware of to achieve the same thing.
Oh, we don't have,
A mass storage processing center like Putney Road Redemption in Brattleboro. To my knowledge, there is no, at least in Western Mass, there is no like equal to that.
so when I buy my soda
Yes.
and pay a nickel a container, this right here,
Right.
that money goes to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts somehow, some way,
The deposits,
deposits.
correct.
And you redeem it in Vermont, and Vermont's okay with that?
Right, and because they have Vermont stickers on the bottles, containers as well,
Okay,
the negative side to that challenge and question is otherwise they end, 99% of them are ending up in the green bin now.
right.
So that means it's what happens to the unredeemed funds, the full cycle of those funds. It's a great question. You know where I'm going with that.
Yep.
Yep.
We're trying to capture that piece, which will help sustain the pantry.
Okay.
And otherwise, it's going in the bin down in Springfield, and I have no idea what their process is there,
Right.
whether it gets redeemed, whether it gets crushed.
Probably.
Now, you know,
Yeah.
so it's a great question. It's just, taking a small sliver, even at a full capacity, it's a very small percentage that we'd ever be taking out of those green bins. I have no
We wish it
idea
was
how
more.
much
Yeah,
they,
really.
I have no idea how much they hold,
Right.
how many thousands.
Because it is a win-win for everybody, honestly. I mean, it reduces our dumping waste, tipping fees,
Right.
provides a service that's
So
needed.
to answer your question and where you were going with that.
Yeah.
So you paid a nickel addition
Yeah.
for that bottle, right? Yes, it goes to the state because they control that account, we'll call it.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what state you're talking about. But that money goes back to Pepsi. Okay?
Pepsi.
Yeah.
In this
In
case.
that case, Pepsi. It's all paid for by the soft drink manufacturer.
Interesting.
The
I didn't
only
know that.
thing is Massachusetts or in all the other states that have redemption, kind of takes the money in for them, if you will. Minus their fee, but yeah, the Pepsi and Coke and Polar, they pay for all of that. That's
Okay,
their,
interesting, I didn't know that.
yeah. That's how it works.
So
Michigan is 10 cents.
we gotta
Yeah.
get people,
It's my Friday
To
night
sort.
party money when I was a kid.
instead of going in the green bins, we want them to walk straight ahead.
Absolutely. The ideal awareness focus at this moment, we have all the physical tools in place with the shed. They walk up and they can decide, but really their awareness and better and higher participation is what'll help make this drive and really work. And then I could make a statement that also as that increases, you're lowering fees to hopefully an observable level, I don't know. It really is gonna take a heck of a lot of containers to make a dent, but there's a lot of volume, more volume than weight probably in these green bins. Look at the size of a large plastic bottle.
Right.
Yep.
Or a
2 liter.
detergent container, which is just recyclable. They occupy a lot of space. Then the glass, of course, is another story because that really weighs in pretty heavily.
I mean, I don't even know who we'd ask that question to. Would it be Donna or to Jan Amin from the
I don't wanna
solid waste?
raise a problem where we don't have one.
I mean, I'm amenable to having a volunteer there to
Yeah.
help explain to people, hey, this is what this really does.
Yep.
And we're not thinking, off the top, we're not thinking every single opening
Right.
either. Maybe we would just do it on a Saturday because that would be a higher frequency. But we did this in Northfield. It was well received. There's always some resistance, and you just back off. Thank you for considering it and move on. We can't force this issue, it's one they want to do.
Right.
I know, can I add something? I know one of our committees, the Family and Event Planning Committee, they are planning a May 2nd Green Day cleanup. They have yet to bring it forward, but they are looking for educational, instructional folks to come and talk about recycling. Because it's also, we're going to have a cleanup day, have some people out there to talk about why recycling is important, and have it like a picnic at the end.
Yeah.
So you might, that might be
May 2nd.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe an option for someone from the pantry,
If you
regional pantry. Yeah.
forward anything.
Yeah, I sure will. Yeah,
We're interested.
Jana Mean might be a good resource for that
Yeah.
group too.
Yeah.
She does the schools
yep.
to teach the kids how to recycle, what to recycle.
You know what I
Back-
thought of too, Steve, as you were talking was maybe like some kind of a flyer that gets passed out when people come to the transfer station to drop off a bag. We hand them a flyer about the pantry or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, a black and white flyer, you know, not very
About,
expensive.
about recycling or
Yeah, about
the-
using the
about
Bernardston pantry.
Absolutely. We want
Like
them.
that to
Yeah.
me, we can do, and also maybe an article in our newsletter about it too.
Sure.
If we didn't do one already, I'm not sure, did we? I don't remember.
There is, you mentioned it pretty deeply in the website,
Yeah,
that it presents when it's
Yeah.
open, the time.
right.
Live action photo of the
So
recycling.
if I can, just for a moment, that trailer, my trailer, it's probably got 16 bags going 1 week out of Northfield, going to Brattleboro. The one below, again, this is not a contest, this is just fact. That was 1 bag out of Bernardston that week, and there were 18 bags out of Northfield.
Ouch.
Um,
We got to up our game.
Monday,
Right.
But
That's
well,
what he's
education's a
here
big piece of
for.
it, you're right.
and again, it's not a
Yeah.
contest, right? But
No.
on Monday, I pulled 3.5 bags, because I'm the one that principally does it. 3.5 bags out of Bernardston and 14 out of Northfield. So the maturity of the program is one statement, and where the Bernardston is coming online with this is young. So in
Yeah.
that period of time, our first 4 years, we were probably 3,000 or under in terms of annual. Now we're something in the order of 5,000 to 8,000 a year that comes out of one 8x10 shed.
And I bet you some residents go to the Stop and Shop or the Big Y and they take
Right.
their recyclables themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there are people
Sure.
that do that,
Sure.
so. But I know I use it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What is the population of Northfield compared to the population of Bernardston? Do you have any figures?
We have about 2,100 in Bernardston, but I'm not sure in
20.
Northfield.
A little over 3,000.
A little over 3,000?
Yeah, I thought about 2,800 to
Okay, so
3,000.
Yeah.
About almost 8,000 more in Northfield. Okay.
Great.
Well,
Appreciate it.
thanks
Yeah.
for your time.
Definitely a
Yeah,
much-needed
thanks.
service. Thanks for doing that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
A lot of work on your part.
It's working.
Yeah.
And we can make it work.
Yep.
We really want to jazz up the story and have people psyched to be a part of it.
Because the need is great. I mean, you see it every month at the senior center.
Oh, yeah.
The drive-through
We
pantry.
do the pop-up pantry.
Right. And it's a busy place.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting much busier.
Busier.
Yeah.
A year ago, we were 50 families
Now you're
on opening, and now we're 75 to 80.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a crystal ball, but it's
Right.
much more active, and that takes a lot of work in 3 hours to push out 80
You do it every
vehicles.
Saturday?
Every other.
Every other.
Second and
So
fourth
we only do it
Saturday,
once a month.
9 to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does, I'm curious on the Brattleboro, the Redemption Center, the Putney Road Redemption, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
that's the name of it.
Yeah, Putney Road
Putney
Redemption,
Road,
right? Are they seriously sorting all of those and counting?
Yep.
And
Every one of them.
Get out.
It's
why
an
not just win?
It would drive me batty.
It would drive me crazy too.
Count each.
Just put it on a scale.
No, they
Figure it
literally,
out. Wow.
we could have so many discussions about the right way of, palletizing cardboard and shredding plastic and crushing the aluminum and sending it out that way.
Sure.
But the
Doesn't-
current mode is very outmoded.
I walked by the Big Y one. Don't they crush?
They do in that
They
machine.
do.
They crush
But
it.
they have a click, they have a counter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the problem seems to be, here's your can, that automatically scans it,
Yeah.
bottle or can, then it crushes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they think it's done its job. They are accounted for the number of containers that
Yeah.
are valid, and it'll spit a container out that does not have the stamp on, say, the aluminum.
Okay,
It'll kick it right out.
interesting.
A lot of technology.
Yeah.
So why don't we get one of those for this?
Well,
Cost a fortune?
boy,
Yeah.
it's a great question. Yeah, there's some money involved there.
A grant
A grant?
would
And
pay
then-
for it.
And then where would you bring the end
Well, sure,
product?
you have to have a absolutely, you have to have a market for the
Why does
plastic,
it?
for the plastic and the aluminum, which is highly desirable. But those markets have to be fostered, and you have to have a way to truck it there or have it picked up.
Who's gonna stand there and feed the,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
right.
model-
one at a time?
One at a time, one at
But
a
you
time.
People do it at Big Y.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
the-
did,
That's their individual stash of
Because they get their
plastic and
nickel.
waste, so they'll go
Um,
there and get their, yeah.
but the challenge, which you can easily see, is scale. That one bag, it has 200 containers in it and would keep you busy for a while. If I approached it with 14 bags, it would be insurmountable.
Yeah.
Probably be
Everybody
a
else
riot.
would be mad at-
Yeah.
And everybody else would be mad. at you.
Oh, yeah, for
Either
sure.
way.
Holding up the line.
Thank you for
Do it
your,
like
thank you for your
California.
time.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
Do it like
much.
California.
Appreciate it.
California's redemption is by weight.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
and I,
It's X amount per pounds or whatever it is.
and I couldn't agree with you more that
And they
it
have to
should
actually-
be mass
California,
and
they
weight
have-
and mass, bulk handled.
And in California, it's not just a redeemable bottle or whatever. You
We need to
have
put that on the
separate.
list the
These are
next time.
cans.
What's that?
These
Joe
are
Comerford
bottles.
comes.
So when
Oh.
you go to the Redemption Center in California, you get to bring a bag of your bottles,
Yeah,
a bag of your glass, and a bag of your soda cans.
yeah. And that's what we
It all
do
has to be separate.
when we go to Vermont, that's how we sort them. So there's aluminum, plastic bottles,
Yeah.
and then separately glass.
In Wellesley, where I grew up, you had white glass or clear glass, green glass, and brown glass,
Brown glass.
all sorted separate
Yeah.
bins,
Yeah.
just like the green bins we have.
Right.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
and it was a culture thing that if you didn't recycle, your neighbors chatted with you.
Hmm.
The transfer station was
Yeah.
an entertaining place.
Entertaining place.
Nice.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
Appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, under new business, Peace Officer Standards and Training Recertification. The Select Board was informed that Chief Palmieri's post-certification is scheduled to expire in July 1st, 2026, and that the recertification process for agency heads differs from that of rank-and-file officers. Because police chiefs ordinarily attest to the moral character and fitness of their officers, the police chief's own recertification requires this attestation to be completed instead by the appointing authority. The Commission has encouraged early action so that the appointing authority has sufficient time to complete the required documentation. Given that, I would entertain a motion to complete and submit the Post-Commission's moral character and fitness attestation form required for the recertification of Police Chief Jim Palmieri, and to ensure that all necessary materials are filed with the Post-Commission prior to the July 1st, 2026 certification expiration date.
So moved. That was
Second.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Resignation of part-time police officer. I would entertain a motion to accept the resignation of part-time police officer Mitch Waldron from the Bernardston Police Department effective March 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We assume we'll send a letter
Um,
to Mitch, thanking him for his
I
years of
will,
service. Okay.
Okay.
The next one, the Vadar systems, I'd like to pass over that because we're waiting on an additional quote to see about getting the tax collector software under that same Vadar, so we'll potentially have a new contract to sign.
Okay.
Old business, we have none. Anybody have any business unknown time of posting before we move to an executive session? Have anything you want to bring up? That you haven't
Besides
already?
help with the finance committee, again, I think we can't hammer that home enough.
No, we can't.
It's true.
And town meeting, we can't hammer that home enough. that
Right.
It's, yeah,
What's that? I didn't,
I was saying, and town meeting, we can't hammer that home enough if you,
Both super important. Finance
Yeah.
committees,
absolutely.
gotta have it.
Got it.
All right, given all that, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Paragraph A, Line 1. The purpose of this executive session is to conduct a strategy session, preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel. I would also declare that the Select Board will not reconvene in open session following the executive session, and I would like to invite in Police Chief James Palmieri and Karen Kelly into that executive session. So anybody want to move that
Oh, yeah,
motion?
so moved, second.
Second.
Okay, we'll take a roll call motion for that.
Brian Herview, aye?
Ken Borderweek, aye?
Brian Kier, aye. So we won't come back, Tyler, okay? We'll adjourn from the meeting.